You're listening to the Ecosystem Approach show. I'm Jason.
And I'm Patricia. Tune in every Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific Time and 4 p.m. Eastern Time on Transformation Talk Radio.
We discovered that human potential is severely limited when you program humans like a machine, which is standard practice today for self-improvement.
The Ecosystem Approach teaches you how to uncover your infinite potential by using natural methods that are truly revolutionary. Join us now for the Ecosystem Approach show. Today, we're going to interview each other and try and answer some of the questions you have, because we've heard these questions over and over again during the time we've been doing this work. Who do you think is going to be more embarrassed, me or Jason? Stay tuned to find out. We are married intuitives with over 20 years experience who created the Ecosystem Approach. This is a groundbreaking way to see yourself in this age of Aquarius. We help you unleash healing and potential that is unknown today and is totally unique to you personally. This is not your typical type of energy work. We help you with life-changing internal discovery that is powerful, rational, practical, and useful for everyday life. With that said, Jason, let me start with a question for you.
Okay.
All right? What are some of the stupid things about us most people don't realize?
You know, I think that they would be shocked at how much we laugh together.
Yes.
We'll be going to bed at night and we're just laughing.
Yes.
And so if you were to rate dad jokes on a scale from 1 to 10, with 10,
0 minus 0, is that the right answer?
No, 1 to 10, with 10 being almost funny, okay?
Okay.
Our jokes are like in the 1 or 2 category.
Yes.
They're usually private. They're usually things that we just, that we share together.
Exactly.
But we just laugh all the time. We're laughing at night.
We really do.
Especially just before bed. I mean, if you were listening in our house and just were listening to us just before we went to bed, a lot of times we're laughing.
But you know what else? We also laugh at each other in the morning, and I don't mean malicious laugh. I mean we laugh at I got to have a cup of coffee before I can function. Okay, I admit I hate admitting that, but it's true. And the part that is so amazing to me is just a couple sips of coffee will, okay, and then I can get on with my day.
Yeah.
And I like that. So
well, and if we share with you what we laugh about, you think that's not funny.
Exactly.
I mean, what's my daughter, when she was much younger, she lived with us for a while, and she thought we were just
ridiculous. Yes.
And this was
you too.
Yes.
Yes, I remember that a lot.
And it's just it's just our way to be affectionate with each other.
It is, but it's also, laughter is one of the best things that you can do to, and I'm talking about authentic laughter, to at the very least make that negative energy back up. That negative energy, that dark energy, does not like laughter.
Well, and
unless it's malicious.
That's very philosophical.
It is. I admit.
But we just laugh because we're stupid.
Speak for yourself.
We can't help ourselves. It's just funny. It's just fun.
Truly.
So and
I agree.
We do stupid things with the dogs.
Oh yes.
And we're stupid dog owners. They are fairly well behaved.
Yes, they are.
So a lot of people remark about that, and we don't really put up with a lot of bad behavior. But it's just we indulge them, and
we do.
And I guess it's part of what we do with Mom too. But when we leave, everybody goes.
All at once.
And this was part of how we got the dogs in the first place.
Right.
Was that they came into our life. Mom was in our life then, and Mom's always here.
Yes.
So
we've always had a babysitter, so to speak.
We always had a babysitter, so they always had someone around.
Right.
And it used to be that we could leave Mom for an hour or two, and we can't do that anymore.
No.
So what we do is everybody goes when we go. Everybody goes. So,
exactly.
And then we're stupid with the dogs in the car, and
have fun.
Jamie likes to put her paw on top of my shoulder and say, "Hey, I want a treat.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
So-
That's Jamie's the white one, and she's a daddy's girl.
Yes.
Let's say it that way. So
This is for you.
okay.
What are some of the favorite things that you like to do that are part of that people might not know about you?
Well, I love to cook. I love to cook. There's something about cooking, and when I cook with love. I cook with a knowing for what the people around me want to eat. And by the way, I don't cook for myself.
Well,
I
and
cook for everybody else.
The thing that I like is I get to taste.
Yes.
She loves to say, "Okay, how does this taste?"
Yes,
and how does this
yes,
taste?
yes,
and
absolutely.
And I'll tell her and
fix or
Yeah,
add or
yeah.
leave whatever alone.
Yeah.
So there's definitely that. But then that goes into the next thing that I love to do.
It does. But one more thing.
Okay.
People don't get this. You literally, we're kind of in a remote area,
Very much.
outside of Yosemite, and you cook all the time.
I do.
And we have a lot of people around us that there's not a lot of restaurant choices where we live,
Not at all.
but they're going out all the time.
Correct.
And there's some people who don't even cook, which just it doesn't compute for us.
No,
but,
it
but
doesn't.
we are strange in that regard. So
Yes,
so the
that's true.
cooking is a big deal, and there are times that I like to suggest recipes.
Sure.
Oh, you should tell them what your favorite magazine.
Oh, cast iron.
Cast iron cooking.
Cast iron cooking.
Yes.
That is.
And
And there are some great recipes in there, but I also use a lot of cast iron when I cook just because it's durable. There's that. But I grew up on it, and it really taught me. I really learned how to use cast iron and make food be really, really good.
we've thought about cooking outside more.
Yes.
And that would
there-
work perfectly. I mean,
For that.
when it gets hot, 100 degrees, cooking in the
In-house is yeah.
with the air conditioners going, it's
Yes.
just kind of working against itself.
Exactly. But that brings me to the next one. I love gardening, and we've just hit the beginning of gardening season, so
Yes.
to speak, because it can get a little chilly where we are, and but I love to grow things from seed. And a lot of people go, "Oh, I just go buy plants." Well, I buy a few plants. Don't misunderstand me for my vegetable garden. But I have to tell you, there's something so amazing. If you want to hear me squeal, it's when a seed will come up, and I didn't expect it to.
She sits there in front of, we have it's actually our table.
Our
and
kitchen
it's,
table, yeah.
And it's sort of a bay window that gets a lot of sun.
Yes.
And she sits there, and it's almost like she's talking to him. Come on.
I am.
Come on.
And just in case anybody's interested, one of the things that I do, especially when I put seeds in the ground, is I actually activate life force energy for them.
Yeah.
And it's pretty phenomenal, the things that you can do with life force. And I know we talk about life force a lot, but life force is growth. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And if I see that a plant is struggling at all, one of the very first things I'll do is remove negative energy from that plant and activate life force.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
So well, and I've noticed that when you go into the garden, just before dinner,
Yeah.
and harvest a few things for dinner.
Yes.
I mean, you're like a little kid that just got a candy bar.
Well, it's so exciting. To me, it's so exciting, and a lot of people go, "I wouldn't do that for nothing." Well, and okay, that's
Yeah.
somebody else, but it's not me. I just see that doing things with my own hands and my creativity and all of those things, it touches it touches the essence of who I am.
And we've done a lot with the garden this year because, I'm the Indian, she's the chief. She just tells me what to do and I do it. But, it just,
Yeah.
we put in a water system and it's made a huge difference for us.
By all means, not a lot of time spent watering.
And so what's different, I think, is that last year we grew a lot of things that we didn't. We had too much of this stuff, but not enough of this.
And so this year I've learned a whole lot more. And by the way, I already have neighbors that have requested certain things. But you know what? I actually have the space to be able to do those things, and that makes me very happy.
Well, and we should tell them, like, last year, this is stupid garden things that we do. So,
Yes.
so most people wouldn't do this, but
Okay.
last year we had a little wagon that had full of plants that were started.
Yeah.
So because it would get cold at night, we would literally put them in the garage, and then I would take it out
the morning.
in the morning and put them in the sun.
Yeah, and I
we
would
put
water.
them in and out all the time. We've been doing that this year with a lemon tree.
Yes.
Because it's probably a little too cold for a lemon tree where we are. It gets a lot of good sun in the summertime.
Correct.
But it can go below freezing, and that's not good.
And citrus doesn't like that.
Yeah.
But we use a lot of lemons, and so why not have a lemon tree? But I also figured out that I just found a pot in the yard that the lemon tree will look absolutely beautiful in.
Oh, good.
So this is a good thing. Yeah.
So
okay.
and then this you can't. We got a couple more. We're not going to get very far in this. We
we're
got to
not.
keep going. But
Yes.
the dancing, you got to have to talk about the dancing.
Well, first off, I've danced since I can remember, honestly. And in fact, my father said that I came out of the womb dancing and singing. And okay, that's great. But I have this love of dance, and I also have a love of music and singing. And so one of the things that I'll do while I'm in the kitchen cooking is I will dance. And one of the things I discovered was the part where if Jason's mother, and there isn't anybody, I don't know anybody who doesn't either have a bad day or a bad moment or those kind of things. And one of the things, if I see that she's struggling with just being depressed, oh, I'm old, I can't do things, things like that, I will go dance and sing for her. And it just brightens her day. It brightens her moment.
It's really stupid.
It is.
It's not something you want to watch, but it's fun.
It is.
Everybody
it's
has fun with it,
Exactly.
and
Yes.
there's always music around now.
Always.
Since Mom's been here, there's been
Less.
we keep her occupied a lot of times with the TV, but
Right.
so that changes the
Right.
music, but yeah.
There's still music
Yeah.
in this house. I wouldn't say 24/7, but I would say definitely a good 12 hours a day.
Yeah.
And that's really, really, really important. So
why don't you do the outro, and
I
then
will
we'll come
do
back
that.
and
in the
do some
next
more.
segment. We're going to continue to talk about some more personal things that relate to the energy work that we do. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia, and you're listening to Transformation Talk Radio. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason, and I'm Patricia. And in this segment, we're going to continue to talk about some more personal things that relate to the energy work that we do. So, Jason, what are some of the favorite things you do that people don't know about you?
Well, I love to read about politics, power, business management. I gravitate toward that. I find it really fascinating. I used to be a really I watch the news all the time. I've been so disgusted for a while now, and I just haven't been doing that. I'm just amazed at the gullibility of some people, but I struggle with that part. But other than that, I love looking at different systems.
And figuring them out, that kind of thing?
Well, understanding, given what we know about how human beings should work,
Oh, I see what you're saying. Sure.
what kinds of democracy, what examples out there of people, what kind of situations or governments create the most happiness within the people that they govern.
Yeah, I
What's
like
the
that.
best way to do that?
Sure.
That fascinates me, and I like to find different approaches to living a good life. I'm kind of nerdy that way. I'm intellectual, and I love uncovering the secrets about energy. So I love my job. We're always sitting down in the morning talking about energy.
We do.
really do that.
Yes.
And I like to see the flaws in other systems. I love seeing the flaws and uncovering the secrets.
And why those flaws are the
Yeah,
flaws,
yeah.
and what can be done about
Exactly.
them. Yes.
Exactly. With beliefs and different approaches.
Right.
Here's the other thing. And this is a little bit embarrassing, but I love riding my lawn tractor. Since we came here, we live on an acre and a half, and it's not really a lawn.
No, it's
it's
not.
not like lawn in the
Well,
suburbia. It's more like a field.
Yeah, it's more like a field, and the Gophers love it.
The Gophers love
Yes,
it,
yes.
but I got this big Husqvarna lawn tractor, and it's the biggest model that they had, and we have an acre
What
and
is
a
it?
half.
Go big or go home.
That's
One of
right.
those?
It's
Okay.
the power. I'm sitting on it. I've got power, and then we own 2 acres across the street too. So and it's just a field. It's not really
But it's
a lawn.
so, you know what? If you want to see him be happy, in general everyday life, watch him on his lawn tractor. He's just like a happy camper. He's a little kid. Here's what it really is. You're a little kid, and you're riding on that piece of machinery that moves.
And I love it. I love
Yes.
it. And it's just I have these headphones that are for noise cancellation, but they also play through my
Play music.
play
yes.
music, and I'm just having a good time.
Yeah.
So it sounds very mundane, but I love to do creative solutions, fix things around the house,
Right.
and do creative solutions. I don't have enough time to do that, but the other day I put in a motion activated switch on our laundry room. So you just walk in there and it turns on.
And the funny part about that, first off, it's amazing, but it's still to this day, and it's been there for like 2 or 3 months
Yes,
now,
yeah.
and maybe not that long, but anyway, when I go in, it still surprises me every time when that light goes on, because I'm so used to having to elbow it or touch the switch for it to go on. But it's great.
By the way, that's some of the stupid things we laugh about.
Exactly.
Over and over and over again. It
Yep.
never gets old.
It doesn't. It doesn't. But the other thing is that when you're not dealing with things that energies that stop you from laughter,
Yeah.
because we've removed so many negative energies. I mean,
Yeah.
we've been doing this
Yeah.
more than 20 years.
Yeah.
Damn near 25
Yeah.
together before we worked on our own. But I mean, it has made such a difference.
Oh, it's amazing. And
Yes.
even though we're getting older and
Speak for yourself. But go ahead.
when we get up in the morning, we feel a little bit, we laugh about that,
Yeah.
But I would never go back to 20 years before, because I feel there's something inside of you.
A lightness.
It's a lightness and a feeling solid.
Yes.
I know who I am. I know where I'm going. I know what I'm here to do.
And I know what I'm not going to do again.
Yes, exactly.
That's a big one.
It's just amazing. So
Yeah.
So the next one's yours.
Oh, well, what are some of the things that people say about us all the time that is not typical?
It's well, one of the things that they don't know about us, and I'm getting my questions mixed up, but
That's
that's
okay.
okay. We're fresh air freaks. Now that sounds weird, and it's just part of the nerdy stuff that I do. But a lot of people, I know my brother-in-law. He's got a really well-insulated house, and he just sets his air conditioner for a certain temperature, and that's the way it is.
Exactly.
But he never opens the windows. There's never
There's no fresh air.
every night we've got this. It's a attic fan. Every night we clean out the stale air and bring in the fresh air
To sleep in. It's
in.
wonderful.
It is wonderful.
And there are times where you do have to put on like a sweater or a sweatshirt.
Or there are times that it doesn't get very cool at night
because it's so warm
Yeah.
outside.
But
Yes.
9 times out of 10 we are able to do that. It's fresh air. It feels
Yeah.
it just feels great, and I can tell if it gets stuffy. I don't like it.
Oh, me either.
And
No.
it's weird and we understand that if anybody talks to us about it, they'll get a way longer answer than they really want. But we talk about
it's true.
how we create fresh air.
Exactly.
So you take the next one. Yeah.
Let me. I just want to. People also love what people don't know about us. Is that when we have parties, and we haven't had a lot of them this year,
Or last year, but yeah.
But I came from a family where there was parties. We had parties all the time, and so being able to do all that is in my nature. I'll say it that way. But people love to come to a party at our house. They love the food, well, and they love the company because one, there's always laughter. There's always some sort of joking, teasing going on. Never ever malicious, but everything is fresh and new and alive.
Yes.
People do not realize how dead, and I know that sounds, I'm being judgmental, but people don't realize how much they're walking around carrying dead energy.
Yes.
They just don't realize it. So,
Yeah. Zombies.
exactly. So, all right, here's another one.
So okay. So why don't you describe our morning routine?
Okay. Jason usually gets up before I do. That's the kind of guy he is.
Well, it's not much before. It's like a half hour.
Well, you
Yeah.
know, but it's still. But then he has a chance to turn on his computers and all of those things. Nerd,
Yeah. Yeah.
Did I say that? Anyway, and then I get up and I make coffee and I make tea and we have conversation, and then we do clearing. And by the way, clearing meaning removing negative energy. People do not realize how much stuff you can collect while you're sleeping. And
Just over a day.
just over a day.
And
It's-
since
it's-
we're constantly talking about our emotional story,
Yes.
we know each other's emotional story really well. But it's been 25 years. It's the detail, and as we still
now
clear,
we've gotten into the detail.
and that's where the
Yes.
big changes happen, and the big
And they really do. I know I interrupted
Yeah,
you. I
no.
apologize for that. But it's so amazing the difference in well, for instance, when our kids come to visit, they basically say, "I like getting up here, getting up in the morning and having coffee with you guys because you guys are always talking about something and removing negative energy, not only from yourselves but from us as well."
it's happy.
It is. We are happy all the time. It's pretty cool. Well, and then that brings me to the next one. We walk our dogs twice a day. And now if it's too hot in the summertime, we won't walk our dogs out on the pavement at all until it cools down because we don't want to burn their little
Yeah.
doggy feet.
Yes. So it's like 7:30, 8 o'clock, that sort of thing.
And it's cool in the morning.
Yeah.
Now in the afternoon, we walk them unless it's really too hot.
Yeah.
And so there's definitely that. The other thing that we do is we do what's known as, and you get to explain this a little better than I do, an EWOT. It's exercise with oxygen therapy.
Yes.
Explain that, please.
So it's a big bag, and it's connected to a hose and one of those oxygen machines that you see in the old folks' homes.
Yes, yes.
People are breathing. It's noisy and that sort of thing, but it creates oxygen. It fills it up fills the bag up.
Yep.
And we put this mask on and we exercise for 10, 15 minutes.
And
what
it's-
happens is that when you exercise and stimulate your heart, it pushes the oxygen that you're breathing to the
The correct spots.
well, to all the extremes of your body.
There you go.
So it's vitalizing. In fact, this morning, I've missed it. We haven't done it for a couple of days,
Right.
Because we're dealing with mom stuff. But oh my gosh, I'm really feeling it. It's really felt
Well,
really
and
good.
you know what else it does? It makes me feel alive, meaning sharp, clear, alive.
Well, and when
I
you're
love
doing
it.
that,
Yeah.
you've got the mask on and you're dancing.
I am.
And we've got this sound system outside and it's blurring and
Blaring, yes.
Yeah, the houses aren't really close together here, but I'm
the
sure our
can
neighbors
see-
here. Yeah,
yeah, they can. Actually, one of the neighbors told me how much they really like the music. That that
if you
we
saw
play.
her with a mask on, she'd look like an alien from outer space, dancing around.
And see, that's
to 70s music,
wait, far out, man. And but the other thing is that that's part of that. There's always some sort of music going on.
Yeah.
And it's pretty darn cool.
Yeah.
I really, really, really like it. I just want to make one more comment.
Yeah.
Mom loves overlanding videos.
Yeah, for people that go out and go out in the natural world and camp, and they do videos about it.
Right, exactly.
She loves them. I found it, but she just been watching it, and
Exactly.
so
That's great. So, in the next segment, we're going to continue to talk about some more personal things that relate to the energy work that we do. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia, and you're listening to Transformation Talk Radio. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason, and I'm Patricia. And in this segment, we're going to talk about caring for mom, and we'll be honest about the difficulty and talk about some of the benefits. Okay, Jason, let's talk about the difficulty caring for mom.
Well, and this is a big one, but I wanted to say we just did the show on the 22nd, which was the 5 levels of wealth.
Yes.
And we're wearing the same clothes. Actually, you took off your top. What the thing is that when we were working, someone would come into work the next day with the same clothes. It was like it's, because everybody thought they had a good
lucky.
time. Yeah,
they got lucky. Okay.
and we always get lucky, but it's not for the same reason. So I just want you to know that.
Okay. So with that said, Jason, let's talk about the difficulty caring for mom.
I wanted to throw that in there because this can be really serious and heavy.
Yeah,
the truth
very
is,
much.
Not only is it exhausting, but I think there are times for both of us, especially you. It's like this is unsustainable. We can't do this anymore. I mean, in a way, we're trying to create a good life for her, but she's lost the ability, like a little kid, to care to want a good life for herself.
Correct.
A little kid doesn't think about,
No.
This will hurt me, or this will not be good in my long-term benefit.
Is this a good life, or is this not a good life?
Exactly.
Yeah, kids don't think that way, and that's kind of the way she thinks, because she thinks in the moment, not in any sort of long-term or anything like that at all.
Right. And so, just for backstory, if you haven't heard the story from us before, it's that my mom came to live with us about 10 years ago.
That's correct.
And
after your dad died.
After my dad died, and now that we see it,
yes,
she had dementia, signs of dementia back then.
But we didn't, not knowing what signs of dementia would even look like.
Yeah.
We had no way of knowing, and so let me say it mildly: we have learned so many things.
Exactly.
And by the way, walking from you have something that you need in another room. You walk into the other room and you can't remember what you came in here for. That is not signs of dementia. Let me just say that really, really, really clearly.
Yeah, we call it, this is part of our laughing together, we call it stupidity.
Yeah, complete. Yeah, I'm in here being stupid. Did I tell you what I came in here for? Things like that. But I just want to, what I'm talking about with the difficulty with mom, we have learned so many things that we never thought we would even need to know.
And we see dementia, and
Yes.
so
There you go.
So
There-
even if you're in your 20s and you're listening to this right now,
Yes.
this is really important, and
Yes.
we'll make those connections in just a minute.
Yes, we will.
But what dementia tells us, and I've seen this. First of all, I've got too many things going on in my head at the same time.
I can see that.
The first thing is that dementia is like taking the hood, opening the hood of your car and seeing how the engine's working.
Correct.
Seeing that maybe there's a belt that's missing there, or maybe
Or
it's
one
missing. It's not sounding like it's supposed to work.
Exactly. And so you lift up the lid, and the truth is, when you start doing this stuff, you have no idea what you're looking at.
Well, and what dementia has allowed us to see is how people work.
Yes.
Not only human beings have this ability to create a veneer about who they are on the outside.
Yes.
And dementia just
Takes that away.
takes that away.
Yeah.
And it becomes really, really difficult now when she's when we're with your family or whatever, she can bring it, and she can be very charming and really
Absolutely.
interesting, and then
And join the
but
conversation.
your family's not known for seeing past the veneer anyways.
No, they're not. You know,
You
so,
know, they take
I'm a
people
little
at-
bit unusual in that department.
Take people at
Yes.
face value. Yes.
Yes.
But it's really fascinating, and no matter how young you are right now, and you don't think dementia is going to affect you personally, I guarantee you the caretaking may affect you. It's so common.
There's so many so many different aspects of what dementia or mental illness can actually call from one individual or many individuals.
In other words, it's a life lessons.
It is,
You can see all
definitely.
sorts of things, especially
Absolutely.
as you're doing the ecosystem approach. So
And I want to, if you don't mind,
Yeah.
I'm going to jump in and say, so what have we used the ecosystem approach regarding for mom? And it's been phenomenal because these are some of the life lessons we've learned.
that it's we've always known this, but we see it right in front of us. For example,
Okay, good.
you know, she gets it's probably 15 to 20 times we've seen where she gets, and this is very much about her enneagram type. Your enneagram type is, you see your enneagram type so clearly, okay?
Yes.
And she's a 2 with a 1, if you know about that. So that nicey nice,
Which is a 2.
which is a 2, gets taken away, and you see a form of self-absorption. You see a neediness.
Yes.
Oh, there's a neediness and a possessiveness.
And a martyrism.
Yes.
that
Oh, the martyr.
And for lack of a better way to say it, and I realized because we can see energy, all of what he was just talking about fills up either the room or maybe sometimes the entire house.
Yeah.
And what we figured out together, which I thought was really incredible, is how we could use the ecosystem approach to rein in those negative energies and even clear them.
We've done it so many times with the self-pity, the hopelessness, the
Correct.
depression.
That's
And we
correct.
clear it away. It's like, and it happens quick because
Yes.
of dementia. Her personality's not getting in the way.
Right.
And sometimes it's within an hour, sometimes it's the next day. But
Sometimes it's right in the minute.
she just perks up.
And one of the things that dementia can do, if you don't know this, dementia can create, and I don't know if I'm saying that part correctly, but it can create a form of depression and
Anger,
anxiety
yes.
and anger.
And I would say it
And even
differently.
hopelessness.
Yeah. It's not that it creates it. What it does is that dementia is
Brings it up.
Well, it brings it up. So your emotional story that's within you that we keep talking about, you have to clear. So if you're 20 years old, and
Start now.
start now, because at some point you have to pay the piper. And I find myself being resentful because here we are. She has no responsibility. She doesn't have the capacity for any sort of responsibility for her own behavior. So it's left to us.
Yes.
And if you don't clear your emotional story now, right now,
Think about what you're going to be doing to others that have to care for you.
at the end, and I'm not suggesting we don't expect to have anybody care for us before we die.
No.
On the other hand, we're taking care of our emotional story, and I think there's nothing else that helps you more than doing that in terms of creating longevity for people. And,
Exactly.
And I also see that if you don't, it can literally kill you.
Exactly.
You can die. It can kill you. It can kill the people around you.
Point.
And we're
good
seeing
point.
that also. But
Yeah.
so oh my gosh, we got like 10 topics started here already.
We did, and so, but let's give a few examples of things that we've cleared for mom, to show the audience kind of how we've created a whole realm that someone can do for those that they love.
Well, it's what's interesting, and I think this is part of the dementia. Ron's here. He's, we usually don't let our dogs in when we're doing our show, but that today, this question answer is different. If you wanted to pick them up and show the audience, you
I
can do that too.
Sure.
But when you work with a she sits on a stool,
Yes, I do.
and Ron, the camera's over there. So
Here we go. Look at. Can you say hello to everybody?
yeah, he's not comfortable. He's
No,
just
he's not. He's being camera shy.
yeah. So and it's just like him to turn his head away.
Yes,
it is. He's a 9, by the way. We have
Enneagrammed our dogs.
We've enneagrammed our dogs, and there's definitely association because
Yes.
his sister is a 7.
Yes.
So, but we were talking about how dementia allows you to see the Enneagram type much more clearly.
Yes.
And we're also talking about clearing it away. So
Right.
when we clear her, oh my gosh, it's just like that. And I realize,
I have a really good example, but go ahead.
well, I realize that we have so many people say, oh, I've been clearing and clearing and clearing, and I still feel bad. I still feel the same. I'm still depressed. I'm still feeling hopeless. Well, if you see the layers, which is what dementia's allowed us to see,
Yes.
is that the emotion is the last thing to go.
Yes.
You know?
Because the emotion has been what we've all clung to, whether we're aware of it or not, all of our lives.
So you can feel hopeless, but know that what's underneath it is completely gone.
Exactly.
And it's not that it's not working. Clearing always works.
Always.
It always works. It always has an effect. And we see that with Mom too.
Right. So I just want to give one example, and
Okay, yes,
then we're
please.
going to go to the next section.
Okay.
But stubbornness. Stubbornness is very
Oh, yes.
common
Yes.
in dementia patients or people that have dementia. And the stubbornness could be that she doesn't want to move. In other words, she's decided that she doesn't have to do anything.
We set up rules, and
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
one of the things she has to do is walk every day.
Right. And so when I see her start to do this, one of the things I'll do is just go, okay, and I'll back up and I'll start clearing. I'll say, Jason, let's clear Mom's stubbornness. The next thing you know, she's up and she's moving around. And it is
amazing.
It is amazing. And
Just think
she
if
does
you
it
had-
with a smile on her face.
Just think if you had teenagers, what could happen? You
well,
know,
how
just-
about a stubborn 2-year-old?
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Same thing.
Absolutely.
So
all right. So with that said,
we're gonna in the next segment let's see. Go ahead and do the outro.
all right. Stay tuned when we come back. We're going to end with some more questions and some perspective about living with the ecosystem approach. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia, and you're listening to Transformation Talk Radio. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason, and I'm Patricia. And in this segment, we're going to end with some more questions and some perspective about living with the ecosystem approach.
Okay, and you know, we always do this with a script. We always do our shows with a script.
Yes, we do.
Because left to our own devices, we could talk for hours and go off on tangents.
It's true.
And
He's right. He's
you know,
absolutely
and
right.
just so
Absolutely.
And we have way more than we
Right,
planned for
exactly.
already.
Well, then
so
let's do this.
we're going to do this again. So
Okay.
stay tuned. You know,
Yes,
this
we
is
are.
nice for us to do. We're doing this. We're pre-recording this.
Okay.
That's why you look like you got lucky, but because with the same outfit.
Yes.
But we're pre-recording it because we're going to be going to the seeing our grandkids this weekend.
Exactly.
So, and we
And
won't be
we're-
back until after the show time.
And
So
we're really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
So let's start with this.
Okay.
Jason, what are some of the worst things that you've seen in our time of doing, and I'm talking about with the clearing and people, that kind of thing. What,
okay. Well, so this some of the worst things. This is what people ask us. Okay, tell us what you really see.
Yes.
Come on,
Yeah.
there must be some sort of, you're holding stuff back,
Yeah, I've heard that more than once.
and
Sure.
that's kind of true. Sometimes we hold it back because there's no words to describe some of the things we're seeing. But here's probably something that is just really hard for people to understand.
Okay.
That how negative energy grabs a hold of us and exists in the shadows that we don't see.
Correct.
People, we say that to people and they don't get it because it's so invisible.
Right.
And there's so much of it.
Right.
When someone struggles to make a change, whether it's to maybe overcome an addiction,
Okay.
maybe to leave an abusive relationship,
Okay.
maybe it's to see their money problems the way they really are as opposed to the way they think they are.
Correct.
Well, or just even see the relationship that's may not be positive for them.
Correct.
So when we start to uncover that stuff, what we see is these layers of dark energy that is not easy.
No.
And a lot of people, I admit, there's some people that have moved on.
Yes.
Because programming doesn't make you go backwards. It just says do this right now, and you can become a machine. You can become numb to all the stuff that happened to you
Correct.
in the past. It will always attach to you. It will always affect you in your life.
Well, because negative energy builds up.
And we're flabbergasted with how much there is. And people always say, "I've been doing this, and I've been clearing, and but they don't realize how much there is."
No. And by the way, we've all been programmed to believe that negative energy doesn't exist, that whatever's going on,
If you just have the right attitude.
if you just have the right attitude, then
If you push and drive yourself.
be that machine,
Yes.
that everything's going to be okay. Well, we're here to tell you that that's a bunch of hooey, and it's difficult for others to understand all about that. Let me say it that way.
Here's the other thing, and it's sort of a variation on that.
Okay.
So, but it's big.
Okay.
The dark energies in the shadows, but it loves to blame everyone and everything
Yes.
other than itself.
Yes.
So this negative energy is acting upon you. So you have maybe a bad relationship, maybe you have money problems, maybe
Right.
you have health issues.
Sure.
And rather than look at this negative energy and clear it, because that's where you get the biggest benefit.
Right.
By removing that negative energy, it says, "Oh no, if my spouse didn't do this, then it wouldn't
Then
be a
everything
problem."
would be okay.
Or
well, I'm going to use a medical.
Okay.
If somebody has a medical problem, oftentimes, and by the way, we all have medical problems. That's part of that negative energy. But the thing that is the most amazing is that a lot of people don't want to use the ecosystem approach because then they would miss the neediness and the attention that they get from others for being sick.
in a way, it's in their mind. What happens is that if there's something attached to us that makes it that we own it, then
Yes.
if that negative energy is attached to us, we own it.
Yes.
And therefore, we have to be blamed for it.
And responsible for it.
And here's the other thing.
Okay.
We see it so clearly.
Okay.
I don't know of anybody that I know that has all this negative energy that actually had any sort of consciousness about asking for it.
Exactly. Oh, absolutely.
Neg-
Well said.
Negative energy
Well said.
doesn't attach to us because we asked for it or we did something wrong. It's not karma.
That's exactly right.
Negative energy sneaks up and tricks us and says, "Oh, I'm here to give something of benefit to you."
Yeah.
When the reality is, it's
It's to stop you,
Yeah.
block you from, this is a key, block you from your personal evolution in which we came here to receive. It's one of the reasons we're here on this planet.
we're here to evolve and
Yes.
and understand our mission, our true mission,
Yes.
which is not just to evolve,
Yes.
but to have there's something personal within us that some sort of mission or
Right.
or thing that we're supposed to accomplish.
Correct.
But we can't even get there if we're in that low level. We can never get there for programmed like a machine.
Exactly.
And here's the last one, and I
Okay.
just have to say it because it's so big.
Okay.
People have no idea about how much negative energy is in their essence.
No, they don't.
We're even surprised by it.
Well,
We've been doing this for 25 years. We keep going and going. We see more and more negative energy within us.
yes.
You know?
Well, and that's one of the places that, and I have to say that we discovered that when you start doing clearings specific to whatever your situation is, and a health issue is the one
Yes.
that I used, boy, does your perspective change, and you go, wait a minute, this isn't something I need. And so you start throwing away that negative energy that's been holding you hostage, sometimes for your entire life.
Yeah.
It's rather incredible.
And
So
it's not black and white. It just
No.
it doesn't just
Nothing
like a
is black
switch,
and white.
like it automatically jumps away and
No.
you don't have any more of that and that sort of thing.
Exactly. So with that said,
So let's do this.
okay,
We're running out of time.
We are.
We're gonna do another one of these. It's
because
great.
we have so many things
Yeah,
to talk about.
yeah.
Absolutely.
And if you like it, if you enjoyed this, send
Let
us
us know.
Send us an email at hello@theecosystemapproach.org and say,
Nice.
I'd like to know more about this about you guys, that sort of thing.
So, Jason, what are we going to talk about next week?
Possessive love.
Okay.
And energy taking by loved ones. This is so huge.
I think everyone's going to be a little surprised by this.
You know, so many people have been raised by someone who's possessive. My mother, we see that very clearly, and she loved me in a possessive way.
Very much.
So I think I grew up thinking that's love, although I've never been that possessive.
Not with me.
I've been possessed by the people that I've been married to, but not
Exactly.
not for me. But anyways, there's so much of it, and you can't tell by actions. We're not going to tell you these are 3 indicators that you
Possessed.
or that you're possessing people around you.
Right. And by the way, I want you to know, first off, we've all been possessed and we all have been possessive. One of the things that the show is going to help us define is maybe I did this here, but I don't have to do it anymore.
Yeah,
Things like
exactly.
that. So with all of that said,
So
Jason,
if this sounds fun to you, if you think, okay, I want some of that energy,
Right.
that ecosystem approach, here's what you do. We made it really simple. Go to our website right now, theecosystemapproach.org. Sign up for our free section. Go to our Facebook page, theecosystemapproach.org. Listen to our show every week. We talk about energy things every single week.
exactly. We'll connect next week, Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific and 4 p.m. Eastern Time. This is Transformation Talk Radio, and you're listening to the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia.
Remember, your ecosystem is the most important one in the world.
Thank you for listening to the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia. I'm Patricia. Tune in every week as we discuss practical ways to apply the ecosystem approach and develop your potential to live your life on your terms. For more information, visit our website at theecosystemapproach.org.